government shutdown at the end of this week?
Could happen. I mean, the Democrats want that. They want to destroy the country. So I can't tell you, but it could happen. It shouldn't have happened, and it probably won't. I think the CR is going to get passed. We'll see, but it could happen. You never know. The Democrats are out of control.
President Trump urging Republicans to pass a stopgap spending bill before Friday's shutdown deadline. The House expected to vote on the bill tomorrow. It keeps the government funded at current spending levels through September. It provides more than $700 billion for non-defense spending, $900 billion for defense spending, and $6 billion for veterans' health care. Lawmakers are eager to turn their focus to the Trump agenda and pass a reconciliation bill to pay for it. And I spoke with the president about the tax extensions that he wants included. Watch this. You've got your New York and California lawmakers. They want the SALT deduction lifted.
Yeah.
It's at a limit of $10,000. Are you going to double it?
I'd love to see something happen on SALT. I'd like to see them give back some of that. The reason that people don't like it is because they don't have it, but everybody has it because it's a deduction. But I'd like to see a good portion of SALT be hit back. I also think it would have a big impact on the election, because I think you'd have a lot of congressmen get elected that maybe wouldn't get elected without it.
So is it a double? Is that right? To go to 20,000?
Well, there are 10 or so, and maybe they're trying to get it to 20, but I think that would be very good, yeah.
Joining me now is Maryland Congressman and House Freedom Caucus Chair Andy Harris. Mr. Chairman, good to see you. Your reaction?
Well, look, we're going to do something on the SALT deduction, no question about it. I don't know where it's going to go, whether it's, we're going to take out the marriage penalty, I do believe, and I think we're going to increase it. So where it ends up, that's all going to be part of the negotiation on the reconciliation bill later this year.
So if you take out the marriage penalty, then that means you could actually double it from 10 to 20, and then you could have each person 20 and 20. So you take out the marriage penalty, that's $40,000. Is that what you hope?
Well, again, if you take out the marriage penalty, it would be 10 and 20. Some people talk about going to 15 and 30. We didn't inflation adjust it last time. We should have inflation adjusted it like we do most taxes. But we'll do something on it. There's no question about it. We will relieve the burden.
And how are you feeling about the vote tomorrow to keep the government funded?
I think it's going to be very close, Maria. I think it's probably going to be just like the one a couple of weeks ago. I think we'll win it by a vote, and I think there'll be enough sane Democrats in the Senate who don't want to shut down the government, who will keep the government running. So,
okay, wow. So you think you'll get Democrat support there? Because I was thinking no Democrats would support you on any of that, which would be nuts. That's them saying, okay, I want the government to shut down, right?
That's absolutely right. You know, Maria, they're complaining about laying off thousands when they would be furloughing 1 million if they vote for a shutdown.
That's a great point. President Trump is praising Elon Musk and Doge in my exclusive interview with him yesterday, saying, look, stop right there. He's done a great job. Watch this. Look, the Democrats say that Elon Musk and Doge are overstepping their bounds. You're right. What Elon Musk and Doge has been able to uncover is unbelievable. Half of us did not even realize.
And stop there. Because, look, stop there. You just said, what he's done is unbelievable. He's found hundreds of billions of dollars worth of fake contracts, and I read them, just a tiny portion of them, the other night. Transgender surgery on mice. Ultimately, that the money that they sent comes back to a lot of the people that made those deals. So what he's also done is made people realize how many people should be cut. Normally you go in and you say, all right, cut 4% of your workforce. He said cut 50%, 60%, 70%. That's a big thing.
Congressman, what do you say? I know you're defending the recent cuts to the National Institutes of Health, telling Newsweek that Trump is protecting critical medical research and that the cuts will safeguard and allow expansion of testing. This was very important that you said this. Explain more.
So, Maria, when they fund a research project, they fund two things. They directly fund the actual research, and then they fund overhead to the institution. And that overhead has become very bloated over the years. These academic institutions have put all kinds of expenses into that, so that literally it could amount to 50, 60, 70% additional cost, which no private funding source will pay. So the administration cut that down to 15%, the indirect cost, that bloated overhead. which frees up a whole lot more money to fund actual research. And that's the goal.
Yep. And do you think that we're going to still be talking about funding, all of this research that led to COVID?
Well, we're going to change the direction of funding, no question about it. RFK Jr. wants to fund much more research into nutrition, which is what we really ought to do. We ought to be preventing chronic disease. We ought to, find cures for it as well. But then we ought to turn our attention to preventing the disease that's making Americans overall sicker, not healthier, over the past few decades.
Yeah, that's a great point. And we're going to keep talking about this increasingly on this program. Our viewers want to know how to get ahead of disease, but let me get your take on House Speaker Mike Johnson considering a motion to strip Congressman Al Green of committee assignments. The Texas Democrat acted out last week and was censured after heckling the president during his speech to the joint session of Congress. 10 Democrats broke party ranks to vote with all the Republicans on this, Congressman. This was a resolution brought by the House Freedom Caucus. Do you expect the Speaker to bring it to the floor this week?
I do, because, Congressman Green, who promised that he would accept his punishment, didn't. As a matter of fact, he disturbed the decorum on the House twice last week, once during the president's speech, and the second time when he was supposed to stand in the well of the House and just read the articles of censure against him. No, they started singing in the well of the House. This breaks all decorum. He should have his committee assignments removed, just like the Democrats did to a couple of Republicans in the last Congress. I mean,
it felt like it was electric in that room, Congressman, when President Trump gave his address to Congress. But, the little tricks that go on with the pink jackets. I mean, your colleagues on the left wore pink jackets to suggest that they are, they're supporting women's issues, and yet they want men to play in women's sports.
That's absolutely right. They couldn't send a clear message to America because they have no clear message. If their message is we want to have men play in women's sports and we want men to be in women's bathrooms, they can deliver that message all day, all night. I don't care. But the president had a clear message. Clearly, the president is winning this struggle, and in the end, it's going to be good for all Americans.
Yeah, I mean, the pink jackets really fell flat, knowing what we know about the women's sports thing. Unbelievable. Congressman, we are watching your work. This is an important week and obviously an important year. Thank you so much, sir.